22nd of May and it's snowing.
You're John. I'm Dave.
Muhammad Ali.
He's got a heart made of yellow barley straw.
We love to farm, we love the livestock, and we love horses. We're just getting established on this quarter of land here. We only had a power pole here when we started, and so we've come a long ways to handle 70 some head on a half section of land year round.
We're trying to bring back the ranch horse type of horse. And these horses here, both of these are going to be very tall horses, and they're bred to have energy for all day long, and yet still have the minds on them that they stop and think about what they're doing before they run away or just in general be silly like lots of race horses. That's all they want to do, is they just want to run. That's instinct. That's what's bred into them. That's a little hard to work with.
We take in boarding horses for breeding. We've got a black stud, registered buckskin stallion, and a paint stallion. When the people come and if they're looking for a horse to get their horse bred, they usually pick our black stallion. They see the disposition in our colts off of our mares, and easy to work with, and good form and body on them.
Usually people bring their horses here, and most of them don't know anything, and we start working with them, and after about 30 days they go home to their owners and they can ride them and do most anything they want with them.
They all love you if you got an oats pail.
I'm John.
I'm Dave.
And we're the hardware guys. Actually, Dave, I've moved on. I sell real estate now.
So we're the house and hardware guys?
Right on. And you see some of the cool stuff that those farmers invent, you know, it's like, but that's their lifestyle, you know, they put their crop in, they kind of sit around and think, how else can we run this operation more efficiently? As we all do, but they got bigger needs and bigger shops and so forth. Yeah, no, farmers are very, very creative.
Yeah, you sometimes have to come up with improvised solutions for the problems, and so yeah, we as Saskatchewan born and bred people are resourceful. Yeah, we invent things to make things to solve problems.
Bye.
We round pen train our horses, and it was a idea thought of by a man named Monty Roberts, and he watched horses in the wild and watched them interact with each other, and he used their body language and the way that they interact with each other to communicate with the horse. And the way he does it and the way that we do it is a horse's natural instinct when it's afraid is to run away. And so we bring a horse in here that's never been handled, and we give him the opportunity to run away from us. And they do about 15 to 20 laps in here. And then they stop and they start to think, okay, this isn't working for me. What is my other option? And they start looking to you and giving you signs that they want to give in and they want to be your friend. And once they start doing that, then you can get closer to them. And if they're scared, they can run away. It's their choice to do that. But lots of horses are born lazy. And so they don't want to. They get tired and they don't want to run anymore. And they think, okay, what are my options? And eventually they will stop and they will let you pet them. And after you've had that first contact with them, they tend to be very, very willing because they've made the choice to be with you as opposed to you forcing it on them. Mm-hmm. And even when we first put the saddle on them and things like that, I never tie them up. They always have the choice. If they want to leave, they can leave. And so if they want to leave, well, then they get moved around the pen again until they decide they want to come back. And generally that way you have a very willing partner because they've made the decision to be your partner as opposed to feeling that they have to be your partner. So they're much nicer for it. If you have a youngster that's rambunctious and is biting all the other horses or just not acting the way that he should be acting, she actually drives him away from the herd. And in the wild, a horse that's not with a group is as good as a dead horse because of predators. So they get driven off. And if I stand to this horse with my body language like this, square, and I look him in the eye, that's an aggressive gesture for this horse. And that's what a mare will do. She will look a colt straight on, and if the colt is extremely bad, she will go and she'll bite him and this and that. And she will drive him out until he starts giving her signs that he's going to give in. And they drop their head and they start to chew, and that is a submissive sign. And then she will change her body language. She will actually stop looking at him. She will turn her body sideways. And eventually she'll let the horse approach her. And when the horse approaches her, then they start to groom each other. And the colt understands that when he's bad, there's punishment. But when he behaves the way he should be behaving, there's reward. And the same goes for these guys. When they let me walk up to them and they get petted and this and that. When I'm working with them and they do something bad, all I do is I chase them around again, and they learn that that is not desired behavior because now I've pushed them away from me, and really they want to be my friend. They want to be with me. They see me as another horse, and it's better to be in my herd than it is to be all by themselves out there.
plaques on the wall. My uncle on the farm out by
Oh, I love
Rochester
reading those.
had those plaques on the wall. Worry kills more people than work
Yeah.
because more people worry. Things like that.
Yeah.
I was just a young punk and they sent me to get this old guy to vote. And I didn't realize how old he was. And Christ, I get him out into the car and I drive him down to the polling booth and I get him out and take him in and get him inside, and it turns out he's blind. So then I had to swear that I'd go on the
Mark his ballot.
mark his ballot for him.
Yeah.
Get the old guy in there and he looked at me, or I guess looked where I was, and said, "Mark, you're in the right place, Sonny, it's my last one." And it was.
And you knew? Oh, the fact
Well, he
that they
told
said
me where to
that-
mark.
oh, okay.
Mark, you're in the right place, Sonny.
We'd like to get an early start because you want to get finished before the end of May when bad weather comes, and if you haven't got it seeded, it's not so good. It gets late and then the frost catches you in the fall. Plant spring wheat, canola, flax. But durum wheat is a 110-day wheat, so it takes a little longer to mature. So you seed that first. You try not to seed too early if you can, because it lays in the ground so long before it comes out. And sometimes it gets weak seed then.
Oh.
But time is ready to seed. You have to start. You can't wait for everything.
And so
Things
far-
like canola you sow a little later. Flax you can sow the last. Peas you sow the very first. Usually you seed peas as soon as you can get on the land. See a long distance here. Now that stubble standing in the middle, we're going to seed that yet. About 3 hours, and then we move to another farm, another 160 acres.
How long a day do you put in at this time of year?
If it's nice weather, we start 6 o'clock in the morning.
And you finish at supper time?
No, we usually work till dark. Farmers work till dark. They don't quit right away. When the weather's good, he wants to get his work done, see? And then after that, well, he has lots of spare time. Shouldn't say lots, but he has spare time.
Are your cattle having babies right now?
Yeah, they've all had them already.
Oh, no kidding.
They're out in pasture already.
Ah, nice.
I played them since I was 12. That's about 71 years ago. No, she's always in tune. Always in tune. Yeah, always great. And then I just like to rattle these in polkas. Just the spoons.
I got this accordion when I lived in Vancouver, and that's around 50 years ago, and I bought it second-hand then.
This is a good place to play because everybody enjoys it and we enjoy it. I've been playing for about 40 or 50 years.
Dad,
Yeah, and that's about it, I guess.
And what do you play? I just play the spoons and my bones.
Acoustic guitar.
I play organ, piano, keyboard, accordion.
I play the saxophone, tenor saxophone.
And I play the piano accordion.
How long have we been together, Bill?
Next month it'll be 7 years that we've formed, and we've been playing in the nursing homes, at least 3 of them, 4 of them, every month we play.
We get a 10% increase every time we have 10% of nothing is still nothing, but
We have fun. We have a good time.
When they enjoy it as much as they do, that's payment enough for us. And if we can bring out the young and these older people, I think we've done a job. Well done.
It's like the cold. On the coldest day, they'll be sitting up on the top of the hill, and 40 below, right in the wind. We'll never dream of going into the bush or a low spot. They seem to want to be where they can see. And as far as the heat goes, I don't think it affects them at all. I think their hair coat actually protects them from the heat more so than is a hindrance. I don't think much bothers them at all. They're very well adapted to this climate and area. One of the things about the buffalo we've learned is they can't be roped around the neck because their windpipe being so large, the rope will actually collapse it and you'll kill your animals by just not much pressure at all around the neck. I've seen bulls, 2,000-pound bulls, clear 5 feet and very little running distance to get at it too. So as far as fencing, I don't think anything could hold them in if they want to get out. But if they've got ample feed and water and it's a secure area to them, they have no intentions of leaving. I've always said, if you go into the herd, you're looking for trouble. If the herd comes to you, it's fine. They're there to check you out. They're very inquisitive. Yeah. The bulls, if you've irritated them to the point where they feel threatened and they're going to charge or something, you'll notice that their tail, with their anxiety, raises. And when the tail is standing up, the tip has fallen over, that means they're pretty well an 8 out of a 10 going to charge. And if they start pawing the ground, you better not be there because that means they are in the charge mood. A cow, on the other hand, as soon as that tail starts to raise, you better start looking for cover because their anxiety heightens much quicker and they'll charge almost instantly when the tail hits the peak, where a bull is a little slower, will hang back more, paw the ground, give you a little more warning. The bulls are getting closer to rut, and as a rule they'd never be here, but I noticed this one here standing here facing us and right tight to a cow, and he's probably getting into a protection mood where you definitely wouldn't want to walk into the herd right now because they may that would be about the only time the bulls will ever bother you. Most of the time you have to worry about the cow. They have a very quick temper to them, where the bulls are more docile, especially outside breeding season. A buffalo cow is the same as a beef cow, basically. They have a 9 months gestation. The bulls come into rut in July, August. We try and get them on as good a feed as possible before that time, which this year is a real good year for them because they're all in prime condition. And they rut into September. Calves, I'm more of a natural breeder on calves. My calves are normally May, June because I want my calves on the ground when the green growth is out. And then during calving season, there's been a couple cases, I found a couple calves with a cow down the bottom here, and I figured, well, geez, she's pushing the one calf off. She must have had twins, and I'm going to maybe have to bottle feed, which I don't really want to do. So I drive over there and I stop, and all of a sudden, here comes this cow charging over the hill. Well, it was its calf, and this was a babysitter. And quite often now I notice that there'll be like even 3 or 4 calves left with one cow while the rest are out feeding. So, a very intelligent animal.
We're in a cafe and it's called the Western Homestead Cafe. Well, the cafe I purchased from a couple that had just retired, and I didn't want the cafe to stay shut, so I bought it. So we can keep rural Saskatchewan alive. You could buy a house in rural Saskatchewan anywhere from $2,000 up and live comfortably. Instead of paying your $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for a 2-bedroom little house in the city. You can do anything you want out here. It's freedom, and that's exactly what it is, because like you're saying, technology, I mean, it's at our fingertips today. And you can be anything you want. My daughter wants to get into photography, but I mean, you can do that electronically now. Come home. It's the best place on earth to be, is in rural Saskatchewan. The gentleman that was just in here gave me an old barrel, and we're gonna turn around, build a checkerboard to go on top of it. And I've got the old chairs, and we're gonna put it by the window, so during the winter, anybody that wants to, they can come and spend all afternoon here playing checkers or playing cards. Like, they don't have to spend money to be here, just so that they're with people instead, because you know, our society is getting older and they have to have some place to go, and you can't oust them because they're the ones that built this for us and we have to give back. I just want people to realize we have so much to offer. Only in rural Saskatchewan you can turn around, leave your business, go across the street to get a can of ketchup and don't have to lock your doors.
Hello everyone, I'm Ann Davis, and you're in my dining room today. In the winter, you got up in time to get the kids off to school, and Frank didn't usually go out to do chores till about 9:30 when it was warmer, because the barns were warm and the cattle were fine inside, and he'd go out and feed them then. But in the summer and the spring, you got up earlier, and the birds were singing, and it was just nice to be out. And I think the first thing we did was always walk right around the garden and through the fruit trees and see what was coming in the garden. And it was just sort of a routine thing. And even after the kids left, we still did that. You know, we sort of checked the flowers and the shrubs and things. And, yeah. See you next time. That's it for today.
Morning, Louie.
Morning, Dawn. It's a cool morning. The leaves are all turned and they're coming down good now. So no wind, which is good. Makes biking a little easier. Yeah. It's cool now. It sure gets cool after dark. Say 6:30, 7 o'clock. You can feel the chill in the air now. So. All right.